How to prepare a good webinar. Now, I have made literally millions of dollars doing webinars, live and auto webinars. And in this video, I'm gonna teach you my structure for how I come up with the script, as well as I'm gonna show you back here the actual funnel layout and how I draw it out and plan it and get traffic. Let's dive in. All right, you might have seen on the internet that some people make fun of webinars, and I do not understand why. It is the closest to legally having a money printing machine I've ever seen in my life. Where else can you get $1 in on ads and a minimum usually of $2 to $3 out per week? You would be in jail for any other investment that would do that. All right, you can't do that anywhere else. I don't know another model that does it that powerfully. I think the reason some people make fun of them is because they frankly suck at them. So I was not always good at webinars though, and so I'm gonna show you some specific things to look at here in this video that will help you stay away from kind of the cloudy zones, and I think I know why some people complain about them. Now let's dive in. Before I dive into what is behind me, which is my cool webinar layout style, hit the subscribe button. Look how much stuff I've done to try and make this awesome for you. It's easy and it's free for you, and it totally makes capitalism sing when you do it. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, because we put sweet videos like that every day out, usually by about 7 a.m. in the morning, Mountain Time. And in the comments below, I'd love to know what has been one of the coolest webinars you have ever experienced yourself. Hey guys, before I show you the actual funnel layout that I love the most for webinars, live and automated, there's a few assets and resources you have to have ready or your webinar is gonna suck already. And I think it's the reason why some people say that the webinars are terrible, because they suck at what I'm about to share. All right, so there's about 5 pieces I have to have ready, honestly, in any webinar style. And here they are. First, you have to have what we call an origin story. And the origin story is a story, it's a style of script writing that basically says, here's where you are. Oh, it's sad land. You don't have the outcomes in your life that you really want to have, right? And then what we do is we paint the picture of what it looks like to be in happy land. Yay, this is what you're trying to go for, right? And that's basically it. That's the basis of all sales. You are where you are. You want to be over here? Cool. This is the product that will help you get there. All right, so that's the origin story. And the easiest way to tell that story is for you to tell the story of how you origin story, how did you originally come up with the idea for your product? How did you originally say, oh, you know what? I need to leave safe land. I'm not happy, but I'm safe. And how did I make the decision to venture out into the wild and go create a product and put that together? That right there, in my opinion, is the thing that most people suck at creating and putting together. But when you think about it as simple as that, this is actually a very simple story to tell. The next one you want to put together is a story that's all about the product. It's all about the product. It's a product-based story. And this story is, frankly, one of the easiest, but sometimes the longest. It's based in education. That's all it is. You're just educating them about the product. Not too much though, or you'll kill the sale. But we're gonna come back in and we're gonna say, hey, I'm trying to look for my iPhone. Check it out, this is an iPhone. You've never seen this iPhone before. You have never held an iPhone before. What are your questions? Like, remember the first time you held an iPhone? You're like, how do I make a call, right? How do I just do the thing that was meant for all along? Can I text? I have to charge it more? I gotta buy new headphones again? Remember, Steve Jobs educated all of us on that product very simply by saying, just click that button. Don't worry about the headphones, I put them in the box. Super simple, not long. The next story type that we use, which is a sub-story again of the first, is an ability-based story. Now, some people will look at the iPhone. Remember, there was people who looked at the iPhone and they were like, that's cool. I don't know if I'm smart enough to pull that off. That looks super techie, right? Remember, there was, especially when iPhones first came out, did everyone go buy one immediately? No. And a lot of it is because they totally think the product rocks, but they're like, geez, you know what? I don't know if I have the ability. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how to pull this off. I don't want to look dumb with it. And so the ability-based story is based in, frankly, just reassurance. Okay, it's reassuring somebody that they're going to be fine while they're progressing down the path with your product. And then this last final story is a resource-based story. Okay, resource-based story is basically saying, oh man, that iPhone there is super cool, but I don't have the money for it. Steve Jobs is like, don't worry about it. I got a pay plan. Steve Jobs is like, don't worry about the fact that you don't quite understand how to make a text. We've got some education. We got the Genius Bar for you. Okay, it's a story about the resources that someone has available to them. And it's really based in making them feel that, honestly, this is one of the easiest ones to break. Every single purchase includes that one ever. Now, the final and fifth part of any webinar and webinar script is the pitch. Okay, and the pitch, don't shy away from it. I have other videos on my YouTube channel talking about just that, all right? You guys can go look them up. But the pitch is not something to shy away from. It's not something to feel weird about. You ask for permission for the sale and then you sell them. All right, with that, we can go to the funnel. All right, guys, this is the standard webinar funnel layout, and there are so many versions of it, and if you're like, that seems really complicated and it's like way too much, the reality is that this machine right here is one of the reasons why we make so much cash. And so if it looks complicated, so is a car when you open the hood, but it's simple to use. Does that make sense? So don't write it off because you're like, that looks complicated. Yeah, cars are too when you look under the hood. Just keep the hood down, right? So let me just show you. I'm not gonna open the hood too much, but this is how we do it. Basically, we first have a registration page right here up at the top. And the registration page, all we're trying to do is collect their email and phone number. That's it. You want to come to the actual free training? You want to come to the presentation? You want to come, which is what we call the sales pitch. You want to come to the presentation? Put your email in. Right? The very next page says, cool. Just so you know, thank you so much. It starts in a few minutes, and just stay tuned because this page will forward automatically to the broadcast once it starts. Okay, so the broadcast page, all we do is this is where the actual presentation, the webinar, video presentation is. And all we're doing here is we are pitching, and you can do this live, you could also do this automated. Okay, we're pitching. There's a few differences if you do it live, but this is an auto webinar funnel. What we're doing is we're pitching, and then at the time that I start saying, here's where you go to xyz.com to buy, the rest of this page opens up. This is all hidden until that time. This is where we say, hey, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. And if you look at the page layout, I'm just throughout saying and reminding them, hey, look, here's where you could click to buy. This is where you click to buy, right? You could click to buy right there, right? There's several places throughout. Now, once the webinar is over, there's a replay page. And quite literally, we actually copy the first page. Okay, the replay page and the scroll bar replay page are the exact same page. I'll explain them in a second here, okay? The replay page is the exact same thing. We don't let them scroll forward in the video, so they can't fast forward. And the scroll bar replay page, we unlock that so that they can. That's the only difference between those two pages, but they're essentially the exact same thing. On the order page, we say, hey, here's what you're gonna get. Go ahead and click here to buy, put in your credit card, put in your information. We remind them of what they're gonna get, which is the exact same as these sections. See how easy this is actually to build out? A lot of the stuff you build once and copy it. And then we just load up the bottom with testimonials, okay? All this right here is a bunch of testimonials showing people how other people's experiences have been. But Steve, I don't have those yet. Yeah, then don't make them up. First off, don't lie. Please be ethical, be moral, and don't be a scumbag on the internet. Okay? But as you start to collect them, toss them there. Best time to pitch is after they've seen a bunch of testimonials. So we put that at the bottom, and then we have just a simple thank you page. Now, this email sequence starts back when they actually register. And they register right here. And at 0 hours, meaning immediately, it says, here is the broadcast link. 3 hours later, we say, hey, go and purchase. 12 hours later, we say, here's the replay. Scroll bar replay, 24 hours later, it's like, here's a scroll bar. And then we just start to send them reminders, 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 and then a final last call. I know it looks kind of messy, so let me back it up right here. But these last 4 emails right here is basically it's a directory for all of it. We're like, hey, here's the scroll bar replay, and here's where to go buy. And that right there is the webinar layout that has made the most money for us. All right, now finally, the thing that people ask the most when they see this, they're like, okay, that's crazy cool. How do you get traffic? Good question to ask. If you can't get traffic, all that's garbage, all right? So the first place that I do get traffic from is my own email list. And if you're like, Steve, I don't have an email list. All right, well, that's the next problem for you to solve. Start building one. Okay, so I go out and I email, I put social media blasts up, I talk to people in groups, I get people on the webinar, okay? This is a role that you're gonna have to fill until you have enough email lists, until you have enough distribution channel to solve it for you. So I send them the registration page, sweet. Now, as time goes on, I'll tell you the first time I ever did this, I did kind of the manual way for like the first 2 months. I did a webinar every week, and I kind of manually or by my email list filled it every week for the first 2 months. Month 3, I did really what is considered to be the holy grail of webinars, if you can get it to work. Ads, baby. Oh, paid ads are delicious. Paid ads are cool because they let you measure and make it so that you don't have to be the one who's trying to fill it every single week as well, right? Now, what you're trying to do in ads is you want to get to a spot where at a minimum, you're putting $1 in and you're getting $2 back out, right? So if this is a $1,000 product, I spend $500 to acquire a $1,000 buyer. Does that make sense? And even that's kind of high. Usually you don't need to spend $1,000 on Facebook to get a $1,000 buyer, which is why they're so lucrative. And that's why that price point is so popular as well. I laugh when someone makes fun of that price point. Those of us who are making millions of dollars with that, laugh at you who are making fun of webinars, by the way. To see exactly what I'm talking about in action, go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. It is a free presentation that will show you 3 campaign strategies that I use that have been the most lucrative over over the last 3 years and made, frankly, millions of dollars for us. It's free. The link is in the description, internetlaunchsecrets.com.